Hello and welcome to my Pokemon Horizons episode 27 review. And this one is pretty nice. The gang's going to be chasing Rayquaza in a wild area, but Dot's holds herself up again trying to find these leads, which worries Liko as she misses seeing Dot, and gets some good advice from Molly. Shows her friendship's still there and that maybe she wishes Dot got more involved. And after all, we saw Dot last week in person, but that was just Dot's room really. In the wild area, Roy bumps into an Onix, which I hope is a reference to that strong Onix you can find in Sword and Shield, and Terapagos tries to follow. They wonder if it can sense Rayquaza, and Dot ends up joining the group after all. Dot's getting frustrated as she's been given a false lead and they've gone to where someone told them to meet for info, when they're a no-show. And I really like that Free tries to make a moment of learning. Bad things are generally part of adventures, but it's not useless to experience them. We get a lot of Free mentoring Roy and Liko, so seeing that with a generally more well-versed Dot is quite a nice thing. Modok even lightens the mood by asking if everyone wants to relax, though Dot's going back to the ship, and we learn why she's been in the mood. She thinks she's been inept and put the others in danger, and was upset to be outwit, clearly referring to the events in Paldea with the explorers. This is a really wonderful angle to take her, as even though she holds herself away, she wants to do right by her friends, and cares for them. But by doing so, she's kind of neglecting their feelings, and even Quaxly's feelings, as at the start of the episode when Roy asks her battle practice. Quaxly's excited, but Dot denies the chance. Dot gives Hatena a scare by getting emotional, so Liko pulls Dot along to find her, with Roy following. By a lake is a Dreadnought, which Terapagos has gone over to. I think it's about to bite, but it seems friendly, and someone was even going to warn them how they could be, but it turned out different. This guy's an ingredient seller, and just to comment on it, I'm pretty sure this isn't the same guy from Journeys. I think he's got a different voice actor, and they're just using an NPC design from Sword and Shield. We get to cut to the explorers, where they all seem to be meeting in person. We learn that Dot's troubles have come from Spinel again, as he's been doing a misinformation campaign. I really like that's something that the explorers have considered doing. You can't really have them following the same capacity like Team Rocket followed Ash, so you have to be in other ways to impede our heroes. I feel like this could also set up more of a rivalry with Dot, as this is the second time that Spinel specifically has been causing her trouble. And to continue with the Explorers scenes, first of all I think it's hilarious that we get to see Zoe watching a Nidoking video, but the rest of the Explorers are in a meeting, recapping the found footage of the 6 heroes. Onix and Sengar are for an all-out attack on Terapagos, but Spinel keeps his wary attitude, thinking to monitor as the Rising Volt tacklers don't know Terapagos' value. Even as an audience, we don't know what that is yet, so it keeps the air a mystery. And Mephio gives support to Spinel's idea and points out it's Rayquaza that's waking up the 6 heroes. Like to get ahead of the Rising Volt tacklers is to find Rayquaza, to which everyone agrees really. This is the type of scene I've definitely wanted. The expansion and flashing out Explorers as an organisation is absolutely fantastic. Even keeps up the fact that they're kind of cut for it, and Mephio saying that he'll be the first to reach Rayquaza rather than that they'll work together to get it, which is really the difference between the Explorers and Rising Volt tacklers, who agree to help each other through thick and thin. And speaking of Rising Volt tacklers supporting each other, they're making curry and are all eager to get Dot to try her first curry, gathering ingredients, preparing it and everything. Dot says she has to go back to the ship to everyone's shock, but does actually invite everyone else. Not really much of note happens here really, just a silly scene where Greedent steals Roy's berries, and again the Rising Volt tacklers help each other, as, you know, Quaxly saves Coco. But yeah, it's just a cute little scene of everyone interacting. That's always great stuff to get, especially since Dot's out with everyone. I hope this is another thing that gets her to open up and join the other kids more often. What I'm really glad about is seeing how Liko put Molly's advice into motion. She had a problem, she had a chance to put it in play by pushing herself to push Dot, and that's what we talk about as they head back to the ship. Dot feels like she's not doing enough and getting tricked when she got tricked again. She was going to go back and Liko didn't want her to go back and dwell on that. It's wonderful to see. And Roy of course keeps his positive attitude as he had fun regardless, and he thinks that he and Liko should look more into the ancient Pokeballs, which Diana points them to an antique shop where we'll be going next week. So yeah, I really appreciate this episode. It gave some great Dot content and kind of following up on her, as she hasn't done as much since he helped out in Paldea. It's great knowing that she's not intentionally becoming a recluse again. She thinks she's doing it to help protect everyone. Pair that with Liko not knowing what to do, getting advice from an adult in Molly, and he gives a really nice episode that focuses purely on characters and relationships. Not to say we don't get the whole Lucius plot advancing though. Obviously there's the Explorers deciding the next move, but we also get the Rising Volt tacklers deciding to follow up on the ancient Pokeballs. I'm also curious to see if the remaining 6 heroes we saw last week were false leads by Spinel, as that could mean that Rayquaza's long lost Scalar. As Mephio said, the 6 heroes are tied to Rayquaza waking them, so it's a good episode that slowly moves the plot forward. It's mostly just a fun episode expanding our characters.